Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews. Today we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 9, of course, which is the last episode of The Walking Dead Season 9, Episode 16, which is called The Storm. So, finally got to see, of course, the finale for The Walking Dead Season 9 last night. Really awesome episode, I feel like. A lot of people were really disappointed with it. Some people did like it. Some people really disappointed with the way that ending went, and also a few other things as well. So, I want to discuss, of course, the episode, but before I do, I just want to say, if you have not seen this episode of The Walking Dead, leave this video because this will contain spoilers for the new episode of The Walking Dead. Now, Walking Dead Season 9 is done. The season is done, and it is, in the history of probably one of the best Walking Dead seasons ever, really, is what I would say, at least. Now, I will say for this finale, there are a few things I didn't like about it, but there are a lot of things I really did like about this episode as well. And we're going to discuss that, we're going to talk about it. But before I do, hashtag KingTop. I love that. Jerry's mention of KingTop, since they had to leave the kingdom. I like that. That's really cool. So, let's just start with the radio, I think. Then we'll kind of start with the beginning. Now, whose voice is on the radio is really the big question. I've gone through it a few times since the episode went through. I personally hear Maggie, and I know certain people, they think it's Jada. Some people think it's June or July or August or whatever her name is now from Fear the Walking Dead. At this point, I feel like that's just almost not even a possibility. Some people think it's Georgie. There's been tons of theories, but I think Maggie is the voice I'm hearing. Now, I could be wrong, for sure, but personally, that's the voice I hear on the radio. And like I said, I could be wrong, for sure. It really just depends on how close you really listen to it. If you've only heard it once, and you might not be able to really judge it much. But I personally, and I've heard it at least 5 times now. I hear Maggie, and I like I said, I could be wrong about that, but I hear Maggie's voice. So, if it is, what does that mean for Season 10? Well, obviously that means that she's probably going to make a return, and that obviously makes sense of why Lauren Cohan, said, I'm not done with The Walking Dead. So that's pretty cool if it is Maggie. That's cool. Now, a lot of people want it to be Rick, I know. I even did a video on it this week, too. Ronnie Hayes did a video on it, too. It's what it is. I guess Andrew Lincoln just really does not want to be in the series again, and, that's really, I guess, we're just going to have to accept that at this point, it looks like. So, anyway, we start off the episode, of course, and I really do like how they showed that it's actually been a few months since episode 15, which, I actually thought, I thought that's a good idea, because seeing an aftermath, like the day after something tragic like that at the end of episode 15, you might want to skip some time, and that's what they decided to do. That's kind of been what they've been doing lately, is that they've really been skipping time in the Walking Dead television series, really going further into the years of the zombie apocalypse this season of The Walking Dead, and this time again, they skipped a couple months is what I've been hearing. So, of course, the kingdom basically is not existent anymore for them, and they all leave, of course. So, we get to see that Ezekiel is a little bit jealous when it comes to Carol. Because Daryl's talking with Carol, and Ezekiel kind of has a little bit of a chat with Daryl, which I wasn't a big fan of, for sure. Now, another thing I wasn't a big fan of, in terms of not complaining-wise, just episode-wise, man, I hated when Alden was, nasty to Lydia. Now, it makes sense, for sure. Yeah, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, man, give the kid a break. Like, at the same time, and, Lydia, she really doesn't really want to even live anymore, so, with the whole arm with the walker thing, and, it makes sense, I guess, after that, and not part of the Whispers anymore, and just everything that happened in episode 15 with Lydia, yeah, for sure, you'd understand why maybe she doesn't want to live anymore, which, and Carol kind of catches her, too. And, she runs off a few times in the episode. Carol decides not to kill her, and that she's going to be one of them, and she's going to be part of the group, and, it's not her time. Now, in terms of the stuff with the snow, in terms of the snowstorm overall, I really enjoyed it. You know, I think it's a really good environment for the show, and it's something new that we haven't seen. It felt a lot like Game of Thrones. I mean, man, the only thing that would kind of that would kind of like end that would be having like a sword on fire or something. Then I'd be like, okay, I'm watching Game of Thrones at this point. So. Man, I honestly, when I was watching, I was like, are we going to see some weapons on fire? Like, holy smokes, this is Game of Thrones 2.0 here. So, of course, the snowstorm was great. No real whispers in this. I don't think they ran into any whispers. But, oh my god, can I please mention the scene with Daryl, with the icicle and the zombie? Oh my god, that was so cool. I love that scene so much. I just love that. So, we have that stuff, of course. We have the survivors, some of our survivors that go to the sanctuary for a little bit, of course take off a little while after, but of course they cross the border, and we have Judith who goes after Dog. Now, this part for me was really big because this was kind of the beginning of Negan's because they're trying to redeem his character a bit, and yeah, I mean Negan really did save Judith in a way, and also Dog, of course. So the three of them go back, of course, and Negan is shown as, not a hero, well, kind of a hero, because he did kind of save Judith. So, of course, back in Alexandria, once Michonne and the others do get back at the end of the episode, she kind of, does she tell Negan thank you? I think she does. So, that's pretty cool. And I like how he said, too, he's like, in season 8, last season, well, he didn't say that, but, last season, at the end of last season, he was at the bed, and Rick was talking to me about, what's going to happen to me, and then now in season 9, of course, at the end of this season, he's also, handcuffed to the bed and talking to just Michonne, not Rick. So that's unfortunate, man. I want to say rest in peace, Rick, but then it's like, oh no, that's right. It's not really. So it makes me happy at the same time, even though I do miss Rick in the show. Every once in a while, I do miss Rick in the series. So, and then, of course, we do get to see Negan and Michonne, like I said, have a little bit of a conversation. We have the scene where they get back to and they all play in the snow. And that was a cool scene as well. And, even Lydia, too. Even Daryl, too. Yeah, even Daryl. Seeing Daryl happy, you don't see that very often. So, to see that, yeah, I'm happy. So, we have that stuff, of course, at Alexandria. They all get to Kingtop, of course, so that was really, really cool. I like that. And, we didn't agree to those borders, the snowstorm, the ice zombies, and, Hilltop, and just all that stuff there. Really, really cool. Like I said, hashtag Kingtop for this review. Really cool. So, I'm going to put that in the comment section below. Hashtag Kingtop. I like it. So, yeah, Jerry, yeah, I like that. That's really cool. So, anyway, then of course we also have the ending, of course, with Carol and Ezekiel, and she gives Ezekiel the ring, and Ezekiel's like, no, you keep it. So, I'm not sure, why, Carol, didn't want the, I guess they're breaking up, I guess. So, and I'm not really sure why, we'll have to see, but they did lose Henry, but like, man, I guess this is the end of the relationship between Carol and Ezekiel. That's what I'm assuming. So, anyway, I wasn't expecting that for sure. Now, also, of course, we have the scene with, Alexandria. We have the scene with everybody else, because now we have Hilltop and Alexandria. That's it. Well, Oceanside still, but God, they've barely been here. But really, when it comes to this, we only have 2 communities left, which actually is pretty crazy compared to the comic book, because we have in the comic book Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom, Sanctuary, and Oceanside. So really, it's like, man, the TV series, they're really changing things a lot. Now, of course, the thing that worries me with the amount of communities, we really only have 2 that we're focusing on now. Kingtop and Alexandria. It's like, at this point, I'm starting to think, it's like, man, are we only going to come down to 1 community? Like, are we only going to have Alexandria by season 10? And the reason why I say this, and it's because of the comics, in the Whisper War, the Whispers destroy Hilltop. So, I'm like sitting here and I'm like, well, holy smokes, are they all just going to kind of cram into Alexandria and be one big group? And they could, but that would just be weird, I feel like. I really like going between all these locations. So maybe for the TV series, the Whispers won't destroy Hilltop. And that's what I'm starting to think. Because we already have the Kingdom that's done, and we have Sanctuary that's done. So, Yeah, for sure. That's something to mention, for sure. We only have 2 communities left in the series. But in terms of this finale, in terms of my thoughts on this episode overall, man, I freaking love this finale. I thought it was absolutely amazing. And, I mean, Maggie's voice at the end, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I could be wrong. But after this, of course, we're going to do a Season 10 prediction. So don't forget to catch that. I have no idea what they're going to do with Season 10 of Walking Dead. Really have no idea. Probably Whisper War, but they're not really... they're not really getting ready for that. We're not getting ready for war. So that might actually get pushed into the second half of Season 10 or something. And maybe first half of Season 10 will be Call to Arms, which is like the lead up to it. With Maggie's return and other stuff like that. Maybe Georgie coming back. Maybe some Commonwealth stuff. Then Whisper War. And then Season 11 we'll be looking at something else. I don't know. That's just my thoughts right now. And of course Alpha too at the end too with the, the arm of course. So... yeah, really awesome finale. I did enjoy it pretty much all the way through. And man, this season has just been amazing. So I want to hear your thoughts on the finale, of course. So subscribe to, of course, get all of my Walking Dead videos during the break. And, of course, thank you guys so much for watching the videos all throughout Season 9 of The Walking Dead. And, I mean, here we go. Here we go into Season 10, of course. But first... Fear the Walking Dead. So anyway, we'll have to see how the season goes, really. It looks good, but I'm still kind of not excited for Fear, if you couldn't tell. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.